Only $1.99 per minute. Oh no! Welcome back to WWE 2K22 MyRise. I am still your host, Attack Slug, with 1, 2, 3 titles here on Monday Night Raw. And there are a couple of stories still on Raw before I head to SmackDown. So I know I saw Rey Mysterio in my DMs. So let me go check on that and start up with Rey here on Raw. So no, Carmella, don't want any piece of that. You go over there with Corey Graves and be weird and leave me alone. So, no thank you. Now then, all the way down to Bulaka, Rey Mysterio. So, let's talk to Rey and see what the deal is. I'm a huge fan of WCW, but unlike ECW, I never had one big final send-off. Let's do a reunion show for WCW. That ship might have sailed years ago, but I can make it work. If you can set it all up, I'll bring out the old WCW question mark attire at a retirement. Deal? Deal. Rey Mysterio, get ready for one night Nitro. Alright, I'll believe it when I see it, but good luck. One night Nitro. Now, we have in this game Rey. There's Booker T is in this game. A handful of legends are in this game that were in WCW. Even AJ Styles was there at the very end of WCW before he went to TNA. So, you know, there are some options of guys who were in the WCW. Certainly Hogan, obviously, Nash Hall, you know, people. So, Mandy Rose, I have an idea.
Hey, did you get my text?
I did, and the voicemails and the DMs. I was almost expecting a handwritten letter to show up in the mail.
If that would help greenlight the WCW reunion show, then I'd do it.
Look, I heard you already have Rey Mysterio on board, and obviously he can still go. But what about the other former WCW guys who aren't really active anymore?
Okay, so what if I bring in another former WCW star and have a match against them on Raw to prove to you this can work?
Okay, fine. I'll be watching. But if I'm not impressed then it's off. No more texts, DMs, or letters. Deal?
No deal.
I promise, you won't be disappointed.
Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. New entrants, some new moves today, things happening, things moving forward as we try to finish up these Raw storylines and then head to SmackDown, the Blue Brand, and eventually face off against the Tribal Chief for that Universal title. That's the eventual plan here to end this video series, but we're not quite there yet. Got a whole bunch of stories here still on SmackDown and a handful on Raw. So who is my opponent? Who was in WCW? Oh, hey, it's X-Pac. I'm sorry, 6-Pac is here. So that's cool. Certainly, he was definitely a big part of that era of WCW. Here we go.
And his opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 212 pounds, X-Pac!
Think about what X-Pac brings to the equation. Lightning fast martial arts strikes, incredible high-flying attacks. X-Pac can do it all. The first superstar to be a member of both the NWO and D-Generation X. You are looking at a superstar who was once told he couldn't cut the mustard in WCW, but has since proven that to be terribly wrong, with multiple tag title and cruiserweight title wins.
Well then, I know you hate X Factor, but you ain't gotta look at me like that. Here we go with X-Pac, the originator of the X-Pac heat, if you will. Anyway, I got a fun X-Pac story that was from the late 90s. At the time, in the late 90s, I had long hair, and I had a very similar beard. And I went to an autograph signing in the Freehold Mall in, it was like 99, 2000, something like that, right? And it was for Paul White, the Giant, a.k.a. The Big Show. This was, I want to say, after he signed with WWF, right? And they had a Freehold Mall autograph signing. And I went with my long hair, wearing a red bandana, and I was in line, maybe 20 or 30 feet away, and I made the Big Show do a double take thinking I was X-Pac, and I'm obviously not. That was amazing. Amazing. He's like, kid? I'm like, nope, just me. Just, like, I'm not 6 feet tall, so, you know, there's that. But, yeah, fun times, man. Fun times. Back in the day when they still had a lot of those autograph signings. Went and saw Kane before he actually talked. My sister was terrified of Kane at the time. So, good times. Good times. Now then, heading to the top. Gonna fly. High flyer. Woo! The 054 on X-Pac. The highest of high flying. And I'm almost at my third pip here with a former WCW superstar. We're almost there. One of the early founders of the NWO. Obviously not in the first, like, 5, I think. Something like that. So, here we go. Picking him up. Gonna hit my stomp. Or not. Or not. X-Pac. Oh, caught him with the exploder. Boom. Shakalaka. But now, of course, I have no finish. And that's a rope break. So, now, of course, we're in deep waters here. Because he has 3 pips, and I don't want to get Bronco busted, if at all possible. Nope. Nah, X-Pac. That ain't happening. You wish. You wish. Sky high. 1 and a rope break. That's okay. That's okay. Springboard on the lower back. Now I have finish. And now that slug sploder toss you across the ring. And boom, center, stunned. That has to be it. Your chest is deep red and a 3 count. Is that enough, Miss Mandy Rose, for our one-night WCW show? What do you think, Mandy? Can we do a one-night Nitro Raw where the big boys play? Notice the adjective, play, which is also not an adjective, but hey, you know, is what it is. So, former stars, round them up for Raw. Don't thank me, just make this work. They got us again, Shivani. It is the greatest Raw in the history of this sport. All right, yes.
This should be very interesting.
All week long, you've heard about a huge announcement I'd be making tonight. And now the time has finally come. You might be able to guess what it is based on the men who are gathered in this ring and those giant steel letters. But let's make it official. In the very near future, there's gonna be a special one-night tribute show to the men and women of World Championship Wrestling. And it's going to be called WCW One Night Nitro. That's right. Raw is now where the big boys play. I just want to say, it's truly an honor to be a part of helping put all of this together. And I can't wait to pay tribute to the legends in this ring and many more who influenced my career. Now, with that being said, I'd like to...
Uh-oh. Who is here?
Huge news with the announcement of WCW One Night Nitro. But apparently, AJ Styles has something to say about it.
Whatever it is, it must be urgent.
Big Kev?
Sorry to crash the big party, but I just wanted to say I'd love to be a part of this reunion show too. Apparently you forgot I spent a few months in WCW before it went out of business.
No slight intended. I was actually planning on reaching out to you. Just wanted to make sure we save room on the card for some of the more well-known WCW stars.
Bro.
Well known, huh?
I mean well-known in WCW, not in general. Like you said, you were only there for a few months. But I'm sure we can work this out. Let's talk more later, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. I'll let you get back to it.
As you can see, this show is so big that everyone wants to be a part of it. Now stay tuned to the WCW hotline. Just kidding. Stay tuned to social media for more information on WCW One Night Nitro!
Call up me and Gene on the hotline.
WCW will return for one night only.
Only $1.99 per minute. Oh no!
AJ Styles with the chair shot.
No!
We'll talk about this later. AJ Styles
clearly felt disrespected tonight, and now he's taking it out
Book.
on all the WCW legends.
Book.
And down goes Booker T.
Kevin Nash can't stop
Oh,
AJ
no.
either.
Mysterio off the top.
Nope.
Styles dumps
Good
right
Lord.
outside.
Okay, maybe this will be a fair fight.
Guess not.
Oh, Styles crashing the chair.
AJ setting up for the Styles clash.
Man. Look.
Down onto the steel chair. This was supposed to be a moment to celebrate the legends of WCW, but AJ Styles did everything in his power to ruin that.
Just pathetic, in my opinion.
This seems to be about more than just being excluded from the event. There's something else going on here.
That didn't do a whole lot there, AJ.
Disgraceful act to close out an all-around shameful night for AJ Styles.
And certainly a bit of history with AJ and Nash in Impact, aka TNA. The attack on Raw by AJ. Several legends suffered minor to serious injuries. Mandy Rose has canceled One Night Nitro. Man, look. Alright, I will take on the man who wants to be introduced as the face who runs the place.
All week long, I've been getting messages on social media. Why, AJ? Why did you take out the WCW legends? Why'd you ruin One Night Nitro?
Yeah, why?
Well, here's the answer. At first, I was slightly offended I wasn't considered for the show. After all, like I said, I was an actual wrestler there. Unlike the superfan wannabe putting it all together, who never stepped foot in a WCW ring. More on him in a second. But then the more I thought about it, I didn't want to be a part of bringing back and honoring the egotistical, greedy dinosaurs who sleptwalk through their matches just to collect a fat paycheck, putting the company out of business and nearly killing my career before it ever got started. In fact, it was so bad down there, when they first offered me a contract, I turned it down and took a job delivering water because it paid more. Because all these so-called legends were flying around in private jets with their guaranteed contracts, wrestling 4 times a year, and there was no money left to pay guys who actually wanted to be there. Ultimately, I ended up going to WCW for 3 months, and it was way worse than I thought it would be. Every decision from the top guys was made to hold back the younger, more talented wrestlers like me. Finally, it all caught up to them, and the company folded. I had to go back to the Indies and work my butt off to make it to where I am today. But I'm the exception. Most of the younger WCW guys from that era, like my old tag team partner, they never made it. So that's how I remember WCW. Not as this company that beat WWE for a short time, or part of this over-glorified golden era of wrestling, but a sinking ship that almost took down AJ Styles with it. So that's why I did what I did. I shut down the embarrassing tribute show before it ever happened, and I'd do it again 500 times. So let's circle back to the guy who started all this. You were just a fan when all that with WCW went down. You had no idea what really happened, but in my eyes, that almost makes you worse than the so-called legends you put on a pedestal. You're supposedly a WWE superstar now, so act like it. This isn't your time to play fantasy WCW. It's embarrassing. So you want to talk about destroying me for what I did? Remember, WCW already tried that, and they failed. So I'm going to do a favor for every man and woman in that locker room who has any actual respect for what we do, and destroy you. Challenge accepted.
Number 1, why was he not in the center of the frame there with no interviewer? It's just him. He should be in the center of the frame. Number 2, referring to TNA as the Indies is really funny.
Time just became phenomenal. A terrific striker, a master purveyor of high-flying, innovative offense.
AJ Styles has competed at this level for decades. Such a special athlete.
And his opponent from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles!
Styles entering the ring, about to deliver a clinic. He is the consummate in-ring competitor.
AJ Styles is a great competitor, but hardly professional.
Come on, Byron, you can't argue with AJ's success.
Now then, the constant revisionist history as to what actually caused the downfall of WCW is consistently hilarious. It wasn't those fat contracts. No, no, no. It was the AOL Time Warner merger and having new guys in charge who were not Ted Turner that didn't want wrestling. And it almost was saved by Eric Bischoff finding a new TV deal. But once that deal fell through and didn't have any TV, the whole thing got bought out for a bargain basement price by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But it was not the top guys and their fat contracts. It was 100% that AOL Time Warner merger. Do the numbers, do the math, learn the history, and I just, I get it. Always making yourself look better as the ones who won the war and whatnot, but it was not WWE that actually caused this thing. It was not the talent. It was a corporate merger on a top level, and not having Ted Turner and his wrestling at the head of that organization. That's it. End of the day. Those were big facts. So if that had not happened and that merger had not happened, they could very well still be here. We don't know. That is a big what if in the history of the business. What could have happened if that merger was not the deal? Also, one of the worst mergers ever. So, there was that. But we have Grapple, Mr. AJ Styles, as I'm going to say cutscene here. So, cutscene.
Is he attempting a Styles clash?
It's Finn Balor.
What's he doing here?
It seems Balor's attempting to help out his former club partner.
He's certainly got everyone's attention.
AJ Styles has a chair, and the referee has no idea.
Neither does his opponent. It's Kevin Nash.
There we go.
Nash and Styles took out the WCW legends a few weeks back.
This is his chance for payback.
And watch Nash turn. Yeah.
Kevin Nash just turned on his friend.
I can't believe this is happening.
And now AJ taking advantage.
He's gonna do it.
He hits this and it's done.
Styles clash.
1, 2, 3.
And it's all over thanks to the interference from Finn Balor and the shocking actions of Kevin Nash.
This is unbelievable.
Too sweet me. Too sweet me. I told you, Nash and AJ.
What exactly is the relationship between these three?
I'm not sure if Balor and Styles even know.
There's your answer. It looks like we've just witnessed the birth of some kind of new NWO/club type alliance.
This is bad news for WWE.
Oh, I agree. Nothing good can come from this.
Yes, the club, aka Bullet Club, New Japan, for life. But like I said, AJ and Nash, history there on the Indies, aka Impact, aka Total Nonstop Action, TNA. Alright, the attack by Styles was a wake-up call. So we cleared the air and wanted to make our some things mention about WCW's downfall. What he did is what the NWO would have done. AJ and Finn Balor, the new outsiders. So, thanks, Big Kev. Alright, outsiders for life, too sweet. You're gonna pay, all of you. Oh no, too scared. Give me Scott Hall in here with the fingers. Come on, come on. You want a shot at us, Attack Slug, and see if one of your buddies is still kicking, and the new outsiders will gladly take you on. That will be next time on the program. Things heating up here on the show. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. I'll see you then, and I'm out.